What's going on? This is excuse me, I just got through eating some Wendy's. This is a quick podcast that I wanted to just quickly say something. Excuse me, y'all gotta give me 2 seconds. Let me get myself together. This cold water. The podcast is called Departmentalizing Your Activities, Daily Tasks. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. Now, I got a degree in education, special education, mental retardation. As a teacher, the first thing they teach us is we got to do lesson plans weekly. Well, weekly lesson plans to present to the kids or whatever. Okay. Now, I'm not in the classroom like I used to be. I still dip and dab in there from time to time, but I ain't in there on a regular basis. So I don't necessarily do what would be considered school lesson plans, but I use the process. So I want you to get the process. Weekly lesson plans have to be administered or given to the administration on a weekly basis at some schools. Some don't require them at all. A lesson plan, for those that don't know, and you should know, this is not to insult your intelligence. Basically, planning out what you're going to teach the kids for the next week, the coming week, or the coming months, if you do enough of them. Okay. So lesson plans always start out with the goal at the top. Then you got the objectives, which is the steps to get to the goal. Okay. And then you may have your evaluation process, how you're going to evaluate if they master this particular objective or skill. Okay. Now, transcend that over to you working in your business on a daily basis, trying to move and strategize. Number one, you got to write down your strategy. You got to write down your plan, lesson plan. We'll call it a lesson plan, but in this case, it'll be a weekly work plan, and you'll write that down, and you would put down the steps on what you're going to do on a weekly basis, some daily basis to obtain the goal, right? Okay, now let's talk about the departmentalizing part. The departmentalizing part is everybody went to school. Some went to high school, some went to college. Okay. In high school, you might have had 5 or 6 classes a day, maybe 4 to 5, somewhere in there. Each class was broke off into different sections: math, history, social studies, science, the arts, PE. You might have had some art classes, and those classes only lasted a certain duration of time, maybe an hour, maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour and a half. And then once that was done at that particular class, they rang the bell. You went to another class, right? Okay, well, the same thing for departmentalizing your task and your activities needs to be applied to you working inside your business, right? So, for example, let's say you're doing social media marketing. Okay, there has to be a beginning and an end. If you spend all day doing social media marketing, you're not getting nothing done. So you got to put the classes in front of you. Let's say it's social media marketing from 8 to 9, right? Then you turn around and then you do link building from 9:30 to 10:05 or 10:15. Then you come back and then you do blogging from 10:15 to 11:25, right? Then you turn around and do responding to post on social media or leaving engaging comments on social media from 12 to 12:30, right? So my point is, you got to departmentalize your activities so you can start getting stuff done, because if you keep working with no real direction, then you find yourself just in a black hole going nowhere. because you're not strategizing, you're not doing your daily plan, you're not using your daily activities as if they were a class in a schoolroom that you only had a certain allotted of time to be in per day. So you need to assess that, put that into place so that you can start to move forward. Because when people talk about strategies and goals, that's a far-fetched situation for most, and most can't see it. And then you get lost in trying to obtain the goal because you ain't got no steps to get there with the objective, if I'm making any sense to you. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to say that again. You get lost trying to obtain your goal because you lose you lose sight of the steps to get there, which is connected to the objective. OK, so look at that. Think about that. What I'm just saying. Do each task as if you was in a classroom, going to college, going to high school, what have you. You only got a certain amount of time. And as you begin to do each task over an extended period of time, you'll find yourself getting more done. You'll find yourself having a whole lot more accomplished than if you just sitting there trying to do one thing. Well, trying to upload this, just trying to sell this one thing. I'm just trying to get this popping. You got to look at it from the standpoint of departmentalizing your daily activities so that you are able to arrive at your goal. Sometimes you don't need to go way out 6, 7, 8 months. Right now, get comfortable with just knocking out these weekly goals. You got goals at the end of the week. Boom, I need to make 2 phone calls and see about this. Boom, I need to come back and do this over here. Boom, I need to do that. Check them off. Cool, by the end of the week, see how many goals you got done through the objective, which is the steps to get there, because you wrote it down on a notebook. And now you looking at it, you saying, okay, boom, I got that done. Boom, I got that done. Boom, I got that done. Okay, now you got 10 things done. Now you starting to see some results. That's how you move on your mission. That's how you get to where you need to be. That's how you start trying to get closer to the money. Okay, so the reason why I felt like I need to speak on that, because a lot of folks, they blind. They can't see where they're going. I got this degree in education, and even me not knowing that I was actually doing what I was taught from school didn't transfer that over to my business endeavors. I'm reading books on the subject matter, not realizing I had been doing it since the early 90s when they taught us that in college. You see what I'm saying? So remember, departmentalize your task. Set each task up. Give it a specific amount of time that you're going to work on it. Then move to the next class. Move to the next class. Move to the next class. So by the end of the day, you'd have knocked out 4 or 5 things from 4 or 5 different classes, from 4 or 5 different business activities. And then as the weeks progress and the months progress, you see yourself starting to get a whole lot done, and you start seeing the goals you want to get accomplished. Hey, man, I'm out. It's cool water. I just wanted to drop that on y'all. And I appreciate you for listening. Thank you.